All right, y'all. So we got to talk about some uncomfortable truths when it comes to some characters on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now, I say characters because, you know, I think that there's the reality of these people's lives, and then there's the reality of the reality TV, and then there's the reality of the reactions of what we're watching. So, what do I mean by that? Then there's our reality, our interpretation of whichever reality these stars are living. And that changes from the show to social media at times. So, I know that was a very complex thing to talk about, but I saw this on Instagram before I started this video, and I wanted to get you guys' opinion or feedback on this. Now, you guys remember Akbar V was actually on the show. Did she beef with Spice? I wasn't really watching heavily the seasons Akbar was on there, unfortunately. However, I can't tell if this is some get back or if it is just facts. Okay. You guys let me know in the chat. Is it get back or just facts? Just write that in the chat. All right. But Akbar V says this season on Love and Hip Hop, ain't nobody seeing how Spice is the bully. And that is what gets me. All right. So I want you guys' opinion about this. Again, is this get back or is it just facts? Chime down in the chatterization down below. And I want you guys to remember this question as we go throughout the discussion of this episode and the subsequent um colorism, racism conversation, color of change on MTV.com. And I'm going to talk about how I feel like MTV dropped the ball on this discussion. Okay. We got to have an honest ponderosa about that. But first, let me let you guys in on a couple of things. First, Sky Squad, we of course are back in the building. What took me so long to do this review was I actually had a colonoscopy today. And so when I got back, I was still kind of feeling a little woozy. My allergies were acting up. And so I really needed a nap because I didn't get much sleep last night. Because the prep for a colonoscopy, if you don't already know, is uh it's it's nothing to be played with, okay? Up all night. That's all I can really tell you. All right. So didn't get much sleep last night. But when I was telling I guess the nurse practitioner who was assisting me as I was getting started. And she asked me, well, what do you do? I said, well, I have a YouTube channel or whatever. She was like, I hope you tell your people, the importance of going to get a colonoscopy. And I said, you know what, I will. And I just wanted to reiterate that to you guys. Of course, I am a bit of TMI on this channel, and that's fine because y'all fam at this point. So I just want to make sure you guys understand the importance of that. Thank the Lord, the good Lord, everything came back great. Okay, that colon is good. All right. And so these are just things you want to know. Doctor's visits are super important. And so make sure you guys are staying up to date on that sort of thing. All right. Chime down in the chatterization if you've ever had one, your thoughts on it, and if you thought that the prep, because the prep to me is worse than the actual procedure itself. Because the procedure, you're pretty much out like a light, out like a light. Okay, I mean, they gave me that anesthesia, and I was like, next thing I knew, I was waking up. Okay, I didn't even get the joy of feeling myself falling asleep. That'd be the thing about something like that when they insert that into your veins. So anyway, I digress from all that. Let's get into the episode. So, of course, this was the season finale of Love and Hip Hop, season 11, episode 15, and it's called Bohemian Rhapsody. What irks me about this is that there are two things that irk me, and I'm going to dive in much more into my general thoughts about the color change thing that MTV decided to throw on MTV.com versus airing it for the after the episode. Now I understand it's an advertiser's thing and there was already probably things scheduled, but if you felt it important enough to film this, then to me you should have put it on the television screen, right? Because putting it on MTV.com is going to really not get a lot of eyes on it. Chime down in the chatterization if you actually watched it. I watched half of it before I went to sleep earlier today. And I felt like MTV dropped the ball because I felt like if you really wanted to really, really get into this discussion, as they do get into, okay? And as I watched it, I did feel like this is an important discussion. This should have been immediately following the episode. And or, comma, that I feel like you guys, where was the reunion for this? I mean, this whole season felt like a complete season to me. I hope that they're not waiting to do some type of reunion at the end of maybe like the following season, in which case I don't want to do a reunion like that because I don't want to wait that long to figure out what happened last season. So much happened this season that we really need to discuss that is not discussed, right? And some of that goes into, what the heck is going on with Spice? Is she the bully of this season? Let me know in the chat down below. Um, so as we get into the Erica of it all, I do want to sort of discuss that there are several things that we have to differentiate and make sure not to conflate. There is the not simple, but there is the complicated issue of the argument in and of itself that Spice and Erica had from the start up into the slur, right? And then there is the slur, which goes into what Erica thinks, how she feels, how she moves, who she is, and how she maneuvers in a space with Black people. All right. So the reason I want to talk about that is because the first couple of scenes kind of deal with Erica. Um, and on a scale of 1 to 10, let me rate it. Let me rate this episode. I actually felt like I'm going to give it a 10. It was good because there was a lot of resolution, but it was also good because of the way that it ended, which I kind of didn't expect, but I should have expected it because Spice said she was going to go after Karlie when the cameras went down, and she did. Okay. Um, so that was kind of interesting. And I would have loved to see a reunion to sort of hash all of this out and see where everybody is now with all of the issues and not just the racism, colorism conversation that MTV decided to throw onto MTV.com. Okay. So, moving along from that, I feel like it was a good episode. And it's hard for me to rate the color of change thing because it really I was expecting it to be tacked on to the end of the episode and it really wasn't. All right. We get a little bit of dialogue about it, but not a lot. All right. I felt like it was just enough to whet our appetites about what we were going to see if you watched it like a teaser, but it really didn't give me everything I needed. So, having said that, getting into the episode, Erica gets in, she's doing an acting role in the DMV area. But back in the Bahamas, the group splits up. The peaceful crew, as RASHEEDA deems them, go jet skiing, and the drama crew is going on a boat cruise. As Bambi is getting on the boat, Erica does finally call her. Okay, we say finally. Okay, and as Bambi's getting on the boat, Erica's saying she blacked out. When Bambi brings up the monkey comment. Yeah, I blacked out. The blackout, maybe I ain't never been in a rage. Maybe I've never really been in a rage like that. I have been in physical fights in which I know exactly what happened. Okay. I did not black out. I'm trying to go back through my mind because this is going to come up again from Spice. Okay. I want you guys to understand that. Everybody is blacking out. If you are getting so angry that you're blacking out, why not begin to seek some help for these blackouts? I mean, blacking out, all right, to the point where you don't know what was said or done, to me requires therapy. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I am simply a commentator here on the tube, okay? However, comma, if you're continuously blacking out every time you get into an argumentation, then I'm gonna have to say it. Somebody's got to call it. You might need to go get some help. Okay, talk to somebody. Go to the prayer room. Go to speak to the priest in the confessional. You know, I really don't know, but talk to your friend. Call Jesus on the main line. I don't know. Talk to somebody. Call the hotlines. I don't know, but blacking out to me seems like it's a very interesting choice of 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 a way to explain a way that you don't know what you said. All right. The only time I can excuse you not knowing what you say is if you drunk or if you are under the influence of medications. All right. And even when you're drunk, people say a drunk mind speaks some stuff that a sober mind won't, or whatever they say. Okay. Um, I don't believe in that phrase altogether. I believe a drunk mind will speak what a drunk mind wants to say. Okay. Um, but that's neither here nor there. My philosophies is not coming in, is not, I can't, you know, it's hit or miss for me on that one. So anyway, Erica says she blacks out. She had blacked out and she's disappointed in herself and she has an ugly temper. All right. Sierra overhears this on the boat and tells her that she and Bambi have been taking the brunt of her actions all trip long. She apologizes if she said anything to offend them, and Bambi accepts the apology, but the call drops. And Amy is looking at this conversation because it was playing out on the speakerphone like massive side eye. Okay. And I don't blame her. Erica, meanwhile, is in DC talking to her. I don't know if this man is like her nanny or if he's like a friend of hers, an assistant or something like that. He seems to be the manager of the children. Okay, but I don't want to diminish whatever his role is in her life because I don't think I read the subtitle for who he was. So anyway, she blames Safari for sparking the drama between her and Spice. I don't really necessarily just blame Safari in that. First of all, Erica and Safari have had a toxic relationship for quite some time. I do think that Spice choosing to get in the middle of it when it has really nothing to do with her is a problem. But that's what these shows are really usually about. Okay. So, I mean, I could complain about it, but at the end of the day, that's what usually happens on these shows. But if that is what she would do in real life, that's problematic for me because, baby, it ain't your relationship. Similarly, Erica, it won't your place to go talk to Scrappy, okay? Similarly, for Sierra, it won't your place to go talk to Scrappy. But Sierra is going to make amends for that at the end of this. Spoiler alert, okay? But we don't ever see Erica get a chance to do that because, unfortunately, she's making racial slurs, and you got to go. All right, so she wishes that she could go back and watch the incident. And so the producer says, here you go. Watch this laptop, girl. Here's what you said since you blacked out. And I don't know if I believe the blackout excuse. Because you said several things with intent, making monkey noises and whatever like that. And the blackout of it all. How long were you blacked out? Did you black out from the time you tossed that table, or did you black out when you got there? Or did you black out the day before and you don't remember nothing from the whole day? Or did you black out the whole week? Or how long? Was it a month-long blackout? Like, how long is a blackout? At what point did the blackout start? What point did the blackout end? When did you wake up, baby? Okay, babes, when did you wake up? Anyway, so she watches it and she's like, oh, yikes. And I was like, yikes? Girl, it's more than yikes. It should have been, oh, no, I didn't say that. You lying to me. I don't know what what possessed me. Okay, because something did. Anyway, she apologizes to the Black community in that moment. There's no excuses. Her children are Black, and she's going to do the work to make sure that something like this never happens again. And she says she knows that she will be apologizing for a while. Well, who's she going to apologize to at this point? Because yesterday she went off on MTV and the production team for Love and Hip Hop for continuing to try to film with her even after this incident aired. It's like, girl, I mean, to a certain degree, I get it. But at the same time, you got to know that you can't use "I got an ugly mouth" as the excuse for every time you say when you say something racist. Like, okay, okay, like, yeah. I mean, you and Spice was in the heat of a verbal altercation. But it's interesting. I have to point this out because Spice pointed it out too, and some of you guys have pointed it out. Scrappy also talked about her son not liking her or something to that effect when they were arguing, and she didn't call him the monkey. But we have seen her call or allegedly call other people the monkeys. When I pulled up that receipts, and a lot of people have pulled up some other receipts. So all you got to do is search the interwebs and look up Erica Mena Monkey and then Black or Black Monkey, and several things may pop up for you. So anyway, let me ask y'all a question. If Erica, mm, it's a nuanced conversation, so we don't have that much time, so I won't ask that question right now. If we had like a couple of hours to talk, then I would ask the question I was about to ask, because I need to ask some follow-up questions after that. And so because I've got anesthesia brain, I'm just gonna let that go right now. So anyway, TMI. Anyway, this is funny to me that she's given this apology clearly after she has watched the footage. Now, the reason I say that is because later on, when Yandy gives us the play-by-play about how she would have been willing to ride for Erica if Erica had been apologetic whilst they were filming, okay? Which leads me to believe that Erica, looking at that laptop later on, it must have happened much later. Maybe within the past few weeks or so. I don't know, okay? Because at that point in time, when Yandy approached her, it was very much given. I said what I said, okay? And I meant it, and I would do it again. Well, maybe not the same way exactly, because y'all, I know that y'all offended, but she went after my son. I said it. I mean, she was real bold with it in this flashback clip that they gave us near the end of the episode of Yandy and RASHEEDA and some of them kind of confronting her about it. And she did not seem the least bit remorseful or apologetic. Maybe she showed like maybe it was like 10% apologetic, but mostly 90%. This girl talked about my son, or she brought up my son, which I'm going to admit is probably triggering for her. But then triggering doesn't give you the right to be or say racist things. So anyway, this is the interesting complexity that is Erica Mena at this point. Who is she at this point? Because in that conversation, she's going to tell the group she is Puerto Rican. I believe, did she say Puerto Rican and Dominican? I thought that's what I heard. I could have heard wrong. Again, anesthesia on the brain and things like that. But I could have swore she said she was Puerto Rican and Dominican. And so she said she was black as everybody there. So does that make her as black as everybody there? I want to get you guys' opinion about that. Let me know your thoughts on that in the chatterization down below. All right. I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't know what to say about that. If you say you black, girl, okay, fine. But how does the world see you? And how do your castmates see you? And were you black the day that you called her a monkey? Or were you just blacked out the day you called her a monkey? Maybe, okay, so I get it. Erica was black and blacked out that day. Okay, and there we have it. We can move on from this. So anyway, I'm watching the scene with Spice, Rennie, and Shekinah on the boat. Spice is saying, oh, she just wants to have fun today, good vibes and good energy. Y'all know what that means. A bad day is coming. A storm is a brewing. Every time, I swear to you, if you go back and watch this season, every time Spice say, I just want to have a good time. I just want to have good vibes and good energy. The day ends up in the shambles. Okay. I don't know why she just don't say bad vibes today, and come on through. Because if maybe she said it already, she would just, it wouldn't happen that way. Because clearly her saying she wants the good vibes Those ain't happening. It ain't like she ever bringing the good vibes, okay? It's just that good vibration. She not bringing that. No, she not. She not. I need her to bring the same energy she brings to her music to the show, okay? Because I be going off in the privacy of my own home to some Spice on my own with my own dance routine, my own backup dancers in my mind. So I need that Spice, the Spice that I'm listening to on the on my phone. Okay, I don't. This Spice right here is she's something's going on. Okay, something's going on. So anyway, the boat crew goes to feed the pigs. Jessica is like, "Oh, they treat me pig so bad, girl. They treat me pig bad. Why they making the pig work for the food?" I know I'm about to say what I'm about to say is wrong, but I have to work for my food. Don't you? I got to work for mine. I got to work for. I'm all about the animal rights. Okay. I don't make my dog work for his food. Okay. However, comma, as the adult, I got to work for my food and my dog's food. Okay. So I miss me with, and listen, and don't call me not an animal lover. Y'all can't say it, but I got to be real with y'all, and I got anesthesia on the brain. But if I got to work for my food, and she not concerned about me. Let me comment on down. Anyway, everybody's having a good time. Sierra then, yet again, please leave Spice alone. Just leave her alone. If Bambi want to stay over there, Spice want to stay over there, let them stay over where they at, okay? Maybe Spice keep having a bad day because everybody keep trying to pressure her into conversations with people, or sometimes she be getting into it on her own. But whatever the case may be, um, please leave her alone. Bambi is fine over there. Spice fine over here. Let it be. Let it rest. So they got to have a Ponderosa. It don't really matter because Spice don't really believe anything that Bambi is coming out of Bambi's mouth. Even though the Bambi just said that, she just heard from Erica today, and Erica admitted that she blacked out or don't know what she said, or she is black and Dominican, Puerto Rican, and all the things. Spice ain't really trying to hear none of this. Bambi tells Spice that she owes her an apology. Because Spice did call her a giraffe. Okay, Spice said a lot of things about the Bambi, for which, when you go back into that argument, Bambi never really came for Spice like that. She simply asked her who the f she was calling fake. Okay, and she did call her fake. She called Bambi and Spice and Sierra fake. So Spice is like has selective amnesia, if you ask me. Okay. Bambi even then goes so far as to try to hug the woman, and the woman still don't want it. So Spice goes off about being triggered by Bambi, asking her who the f she talking to. Well, girl, she was talking to you because you was too busy. You was so busy calling her and Sierra fake that you can't even remember what you said. Okay. Anyway, why don't these girls just leave Spice alone? If she let her be, okay, if the woman wants only good vibes, she should probably stay away from the people on the cast that bring her bad vibes. I.e., y'all stop trying to get these people together. People can coexist in the same space without having to be besties and talk and whatnot. So anyway, RASHEEDA and YANDY try to talk to Karlie about having another conversation with Spice, and I don't know why they're doing that. Okay, Spice and Karlie's scared of the rejection. It's the last night in the Bahamas, and they have a little what they call is it called a Junkanoo Fest? Am I getting that correct? Please don't throw tomatoes at me if I'm wrong. Sierra gets things started in the big group that night, and she said it hurted her. Sierra is down to the event, and she takes center stage to tell us that it hurted her. It heard it all over. It heard it here. It heard it here. It heard it here. It heard it here. It heard it. It just heard it so bad. It heard it. It hurted me. It hurted. It hurt you. Okay. She got a hernia at this point. It hurt it so bad she got herself a hernia. And so she got the hernia for, going at it with the Scrappy. All right. She says it wasn't her place to, be arguing with him and going toe to toe. As Scrap is sitting beside Bambi, which is a nice change of pace, she apologizes for doing way too much and being in their business. He apologizes as well. And Bambi appreciates this moment. And hopefully this helped, Sierra's hernia dissipate so she won't hurt it no more. Okay. Now, continuing on at the event, Sierra then wants everybody to make amends. Spice yet again. Okay. So Spice admits that she was angry and she doesn't remember. And I wrote this down verbatim. She doesn't remember everything she said to or about Bambi, but just that she was angry. So I think this is what I think. I think that similar to Sierra, similar to Erica, Spice was also suffering from the hernia because she was hurted in some way, shape, or form by so many different things at so many different points by so many different people that have been her friend and have all turned on her. Okay. All the friends she made them turned on her. That's what she said. Now, I ain't gonna, that's what she say. So she too is suffering from the hernia. She is hurted. Okay. And she has too blacked out. So I think that the hernia is the cause of the blackouts that both Spice and Erica suffer from, because Spice now too suddenly has amnesia, does not remember calling Bambi the giraffe or anything else that may have been hurtful, because she is suffering from the hernia and she is hurted. And now I think I figured it all out. It's all these people down to the Atlanta suffering from hernia. I mean, so I don't know what the solution is for the hernia. I mean, other than maybe go talk to somebody about your hurts. You know what I'm saying? So it won't hurt it no more. So anyway, she's working on herself. She's a work in progress and feels like she overreacted and finally realizes that she's been going through some things and she's been going about things all wrong. She admits that she put Sierra and Bambi in a box because they're friends with Erica, and it was wrong of her, and she apologizes for all the wrong she said when she blacked out. And so Spice goes to hug her, and Bambi accepts her apology. But you could tell Bambi was like, girl, I know you called me a giraffe and it was unwarranted. So I do not forgive you internally, but externally, I'm going to act like I forgive you, but I'm going to keep my distance from you, which is probably a safe bet, because until Spice gets over her hernia, then I don't think she needs to be around anybody. Okay. Because the hernia could be contagious. You know what? I think that the hernia probably passed from Sierra. Okay. When she was arguing with Scrap, it jumped off of Sierra, the hernia then jumped on to Erica. And then the hernia in her battle with Spice, when she threw the table, the hernia jumped on to Spice. But or Spice had the original hernia, okay, when she went off on Karlie and Mita, and somehow it ended up to Sierra and Erica when they was going at it with Scrap. And then it also, that's how Erica took it to the Ponderosa with Spice, and so Spice got the hernia again, okay? Or has Spice had the hernia all season long? Somebody let me know in the chatterization down below, because she was hurted. Anyway, Yandy is fine, is again like, oh, I feel so bad for Bambi. Girl, how? Like, anyway, Spice then chats with RASHEEDA, who informs her Karlie has expressed a desire to move forward with her as well, and Spice doesn't feel like Karlie is genuine. Apparently, she looked at the security cameras at her home, outside her home, and she said she's seeing strange men outside the house doing strange things. Apparently, there was a production crew over at Karlie's house across the street from her. So RASHEEDA said Karlie hasn't moved in, but Spice is like, but she got all these people in the neighborhood while Spice's kids are there, and she don't feel safe. Okay. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about this in a second. But Yandy goes to collect Karlie, but RASHEEDA reveals Spice don't want to talk. RASHEEDA then understands how Spice feels. Oddly, Kirk does too. And so and asks Karlie about, well, what lady, what's going on with all these people at your place? And Carly's like, well, she didn't want me to move in, so I got to pay the bill some kind of way. So I'm renting that month. I'm renting that mamma jamma out. I mean, what you pay me to do? Lose all my money? At this point, you should probably just sell it. But can't nobody tell you what to do. Because here's the thing, and this is what I'm about to get into. Oh, before I get into that, Spice is telling Shekinah about the whole situation, and she wants to bust Karlie upside the head when the cameras go down. Because I think she still got the hernia. I don't think it has left her spirit yet. And I think she still heard it. So I think she's probably gonna have another blackout moment and coming in 5, 4, 3, 2. And so just be on the lookout for it, camera people, because one camera crew at least caught it because we heard it on we saw it. So if one camera crew person caught it, I don't know why a camera crew person didn't say Spice is on the move. When the camera's cut, Spice will be on the move. She's got the hernia, it's back on her. Is there a doctor in the building? So nobody said that. So it's fine. Okay. But let me tell you what I feel about this whole situation with Spice and Karlie. Spice, you, first of all, as much as we want to say this, you cannot tell nobody where to move to, and you do not control your friends. Your friends can do whatever they want to do. And if this woman wants to move next to you, then she absolutely has a right to move wherever she wants to move. Is it weird? Absolutely. Especially if you told her you didn't want her in the neighborhood with you, but you can't stop nobody from moving where they want to move. What you should do is you should, if you it or what you should have done was move into an area that has a very strict HOA policy, okay? So that all those types of shenanigans can't be going on over down to Karlie's house. If you really want your privacy, if you really want your security, you have got to go to the places where privacy and security are tantamount, okay? And I know that's a retroactive thing because you didn't know Karlie was going to move in. But what I can say is this. This is a sticky situation because if Karlie does not move in, what is she supposed to do with the house at this point? For me, if I'm Karlie, I'm selling the house, and I'm trying to get far away from this Spice herdia as I possibly can, because I do not want the herdia to jump off from Spice onto me. Okay, so Karlie Red, if I was you, just sell the house and move on from this friendship and from this person and move on with your life, because at the end of the day, there is some things going on with Spice that she needs to take care of. And sometimes things are wrong in our lives, and sometimes we react to things. And I have definitely been in a space that Spice has been in, where you looking at everybody crazy, and I have been there. And so I ain't saying that I'm not. Listen, we all at some point in time we all get the herdia. Okay, we all heard it, and so I'm not condoning everything Spice has done, but I do feel like I understand being in a space of I'm in pain. I'm going through things and I don't know who to trust, or just kind of questioning things. So not giving her an excuse, but I'm just also trying to be objective and look at people as people and not perfect, right? So the camera's cut, and then apparently Spice made good on that threat and went after Karlie, and she says, you know, Karlie, who says she said nothing to Spice the entire night. Production and Shekinah have to try to hold Spice back, and the producers asked point blank what Karlie did to Spice. At this point, Spice says, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just going to let Karlie continue to play the big girl. I can't help you with your hernia if you're not going to tell us what hurted. Okay. So you going to have to tell me, like, it's been so many altercations that you've had with so many people. And now you want to remain tight-lipped about what it is. I thought it was that the people was on the Zoom camera outside your house and they was partying and doing the music videos and things like that, and bees in the trap. But if it ain't that, and it's something else, then you're gonna have to let me know what it is, because I cannot rally behind you if you're not gonna tell me what the details of this situation are. If the producers give you the platform to do so, then you need to go ahead and do so. Okay. Um, basically Rasheeda and Kirk have to pray with Spice that she releases her herdia, and then it's September 2023. So the episode with the slur has aired, and we get to see some footage from the show. Kirk, Karlie, Rasheeda, Yandy, Sierra, and then Spice do their green screen reactions to the slur, and then that's when we get the reveal that Yandy wanted to speak to Erica to educate her on the history of the use of that word, and if Erica would have genuinely apologized, she would have went to bat for her. So then she saw Erica at Bambi's divorce party, which had to be filmed at some point in time, like after all of it occurred. And I don't know why they didn't show this whole scene during the show, but it's instead of a flashback. I hate that because I wanted to see the full scene. Erica says Erica says Yandy is insulted because she's choosing to be insulted about it. Erica, help me help you in some way, shape, or form, because this ain't it, okay? You are insulted because you choose to be insulted. You gonna look at a crowd of black people that are your friends, and you gonna tell them, hey, black friend, I called our other black friend a monkey. I with either one, no full understanding of the context of that word and what it means for my black friends, or B, I do know what it means in the context and I don't care. It's one or the other, okay? Either you ignorant or you not, okay? And as Jock says in the special, he says she's too embraced and she's too entrenched in the culture to not understand the ramifications of the use of that term, as well as making the monkey noises afterwards. Erica says she would do it all over again. And what she means by that is she would want to violate Spice all over again. Erica says she's Puerto Rican. This I did write this down. She says she's Puerto Rican and Dominican, and she's as black as any of them. Then we get all the headlines of Erica being fired, and then they tell us you can watch the discussion at MTV.com Color of Change. I've seen a lot of discourse about whether or not they should have how they handle this situation. It's interesting to me. I can tell you with all certainty, if they did not air it, there would be people that did not believe that she said it. So, as painful as it is, I think that it is important to recognize that the use of this word is still prevalent, and there needs to be a discussion about the language that we use. Do I think it was important to have that Ponderosa at the end? I do. I do. It would have been nice to have um before, if I had not seen that footage of Erica and Yandy's conversation, I would have said E- Erica should have been there. But after seeing that conversation, I've seen two different Ericas. I've seen the Erica that is unapologetic, and then I've seen the Erica that is, I would say, more than likely impacted. No, I've seen three Ericas. I've seen an unapologetic Erica in that scene with Yandy. I've seen an apologetic Erica who likely wanted to save face and maybe potentially not lose gigs. And then I've seen an Erica on social media who is blaming the production company for allegedly milking this story. I don't consider it milked, I consider it told. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Personally, I would rather know that she said it, because if you did not show it to me, and I tell you guys this on television all the time, whether you like it or not, it's a game of show and tell. And oftentimes, even when you see something on television, there are people who will see it in different ways. And that's just the nature of the way reality TV works. We could look back at a number of instances and events that have occurred on reality TV where the audience has been split depending on their life experiences, what they feel like they saw, all kinds of things. So, and I could go down a list of examples, but I don't feel like even dredging up some of the past because I feel like it just sends us down a further spiral and I don't want to be hurted today. Um, so this will go down in history as an interesting season of Love and Hip Hop. It'll be interesting to see who comes back next season when they pick up filming. I want to know why they didn't do a reunion because this season definitely deserved a reunion. So much happened. It was a good season overall, and whether you like her or not, Spice was definitely a star player this season, and I think she was probably one of the MVPs of the season because she was at the center of most of the controversy. So, who do you think was the MVP of this season? It doesn't have to be the person who was the most liked, but it was definitely the person who was in the mix of everything. So anyway, that's our review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The next big show coming out of the VH1 MTV universe will be Basketball Wives. So, of course, we will be covering that, and that will start Monday, October the 9th. So I'm super excited about that. With that being said, I will catch you all, of course, in the next video.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Birkin she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. I mean, someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I mean, I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. She ain't hear that from me. I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her all her dirty little secrets, just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out. She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?